Greetings, it is I, Shepherd Chang, and you should have read the title. Um, so I don't actually have a whole lot of attachment to the Studio Ghibli and the movies that Studio Ghibli has made because they weren't really a part of my childhood. My parents were not weebs at all. Um, Closest thing they probably watched to anime were watching the really old English translations of Speed Racer, and it's debatable whether or not they knew that that came from Japan. Um, so yeah, didn't really know anything about Studio Ghibli growing up or most of my teenage years, honestly. Um, I want to say that my first exposure to Studio Ghibli were references in fan fiction. Yeah, that's uh, that's just how little attachment I knew, as little I knew about him. Um, But yeah, I first time I watched anything Studio Ghibli was when Cartoon Network ran a bunch of their movies when I was like 13 or 14 maybe. Again, I'm currently 34. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And those I think want to say those were the only times I ever saw any of the Studio Ghibli movies before. And even then I didn't see all of the ones they showed or even see the full things in a couple of cases. I think I saw like maybe the first 10 minutes of Spirited Away. Um, that was basically it. So yeah, again, one of the things as I've gotten older, I want to experience more things. Since I've had some money, I got a couple of physical copies of a couple of the Studio Ghibli movies that I was passingly familiar with. Like the other day, I watched Laputa, The Castle in the Sky, made in 80s. I don't know which year it was. Holy shit, does that movie still look good? It looked so good. Um, yeah, wow. Like, man, um, part of, it's just gonna be something I did want to say. Part of the reason I bought a copy was, a couple of months ago, one of the YouTubers I pay attention to, Overly Sarcastic Productions, made, a video about Wind Waker, and it's the influences that inspired it, and one of them was Castle in the Sky. Probably put a link to that in this video at the end of this. Go check them out. They're a whole lot more eloquent than I am. Yeah, they're good. But yeah, I, one of the many things that occurred to me while I was watching this movie was, wow, Wind Waker is so much like this. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Um, like I want to say my first interest in this was when I was back a teenager. The word Laputa. Um, it's actually the whole thing is just a really strange reference to Gulliver's Travels, a series of short novels that were from Britain that were posted in like the early 1700s or something, like 1720 or something like that. Uh, I read them all when I was a teenager, and the third book in it involved Gulliver traveling to Japan uh during the period in which they did not they weren't the I don't know the name. Isolationist period when they weren't allowing travelers in. There were just a few interesting things about that, and one of the things is they go to an area north of the Japanese Empire and they see Laputa, an island that floats in a city that floats in the sky over an island that drops its trash on the island below. Just a very, just such a strange reference for this movie, and it's just I don't know, it's just so yeah. Anyway, um, rambling. Yeah, the movie's great. I really very much enjoyed the plot. When the villain was talking, it occurred to me, is that Mark Hamill? Yeah, it's Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is the primary villain of the movie. Man, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Uh, I've bought a couple other copies. I also bought a copy of Princess Mononoke. One of the only other. Studio Ghibli movies I've seen, watched it on Cartoon Network. I mentioned. Um, Again, really good looking movie. Not as old. I think this one was like 98 or something. Also, again, Legend of Zelda references, like for the Guardians from Breath of the Wild. Like, holy crap, that first monster in the movie. Like, wow. Um, Again, it looks great. The- these are not movie reviews. I don't even know if I said that in the beginning of this thing. Again, I'm not particularly eloquent. If you want to review, go find someone else. Um, the movie, again, I've only ever seen this once, and it was on TV when I was a teenager. So it got broken up and stuff. I'm surprised just how much of the movie I remembered, and then just how much of the movie I didn't remember. It was really interesting. Yeah. God, what else do I have to say about it? Um, Beyond, it's good. Oh yes, movie good. Oh, Pepper think movie good. Yeah, I'm God. While I'm recording this, I'm really reminded why I never did any actual movie reviews on my channel. The words just do not come to mind. Um, watch it. Yeah, I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. I have no idea where. God, the whole thing with streaming sites and just things constantly moving around. I really prefer to have physical copies. Um, so I'm gonna end this thing talking about the third Studio Ghibli movie I watched was Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. I might have missed an of in there. One that I have not seen at all, knew relatively little about, aside from like seeing handfuls of um like gifs equivalents over the years. Lots of people making references to it. Didn't know pretty much anything about the story. Again, looks very good. I do think that Laputa looks better. Castle in the Sky is a better looking movie overall, but that's not saying. Well, no, it is saying a lot, but it's still a very good looking movie. Like, holy shit! Like, I can think of several movies, animated movies that have come out in the last few years that I will not name that did not look as good as this. I've lost my train of thought already because, of course, I have. Um, I enjoyed it. Again, I understand why this movie is so iconic. Uh, I think it handled its themes very well. Um, I'm not gonna get into them because of spoilers. Again, should I would recommend people watching this. Um, I think there was one thing at the end of the movie that I did not understand. Uh, the character Nausicaa is wearing a pink shirt, and then in a later scene, the shirt is blue. She never had time or a place to change her shirt. It didn't occur to me, when did that happen? So I actually had to rewind or go back into the movie to see where it was, what the heck caused that. I won't spoil what it was because it's actually an interesting plot point that I didn't even realize was occurring. Honestly, again, something that was quite well done. Um, yeah, Again, it is understandable why people come back to this movie as being one of the greats. It's good, very quite good. Yes. Ugh, man, I really, really do wish I could get my thoughts into words. Might actually be able to make money off of it or something. Who knows? God. Anyway, I'm rambling long enough. I am Shepherd Shang. Again, I'm posting these little audio things to help my mind get back into a place for content creation on my channel. I've watched a few Studio Ghibli movies. I do want to watch some of them more, because, again, there are reasons people consider these to be some of the best. So, yeah, goodbye.